House knew, and maybe they should have told the president.
Isn't that a problem too?
There's loads of problems. And then David Rowe, there's the Russia problem.
Yeah,
right?
for Democrats, this is clearly a political opportunity. They can bring up this whole question about were there contacts between the Trump campaign and Russia. There's still an active investigation going into 3 other people beyond this. Carter Page, who is a Russia advisor, Stone, who was at least a supporter of Flynn's, and then Paul Manafort, the former campaign manager. So there's no proof of this, let's be fair here, but clearly the Democrats are going to bring this up, and this isn't what the president wants to be talking about 4 weeks into his presidency.
President Obama's Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes put it on Twitter this morning. I want to get your assessment on whether this is fair or not. When campaign chairman and the NSA both resign over Russia ties, there's more. Manafort and Flynn had nothing in common except Russia and Trump. David, I mean, what credence? Is that just politics, or is there something there?
I think it's politics, but there are active investigations going on into these 3 people by the FBI. John McCain has, raised this issue. He's not going to let the Russia issue die. And again, all American intelligence agencies agreed that the Russians intervened in this election to at least undermine it and at most, favor Donald Trump. And we have repeated contacts between Russia and supporters of Trump.
Dana, based on your reporting, what's going on right now in the White House this morning? Because we've seen Kellyanne Conway out there today saying she has no explanation or doesn't have an answer for what happened from 2 weeks ago when Don began.
She said the president has complete confidence.
And there's that too.
Like 12 hours ago.
So this morning, what are they trying to do? Do they have a strategy to move past this over the next several hours?
It's unclear. I mean, that's the honest answer. It's unclear. It seems to me that the first thing that they want to do, which is the first thing that they should do, is get a new national security advisor and hope that helps to change the narrative, helps to change the discussion into will this White House and will the very important National Security Council find somebody who will give leadership, and not just to that part of the White House, but to the president's foreign policy in general. But you have to imagine that they are understanding that these questions are going to come up. I mean, I've been asking them, haven't gotten any answers yet. The key one: did Don McGahn, the White House counsel, tell anybody? Did he tell everybody? And if so, and what happened with that information? I mean, those are key questions that you can bet that they are trying to figure out how to answer. And it is possible that because of frankly, the chaos within the White House, that people who should know the answers to these questions don't.
So let's just take a walk back in history, a little bit further than you took us, Dana, and let's just have everyone listen to what Michael Flynn said at the RNC, a huge supporter and very loyal to Trump throughout. Here's what he said about Hillary Clinton and national security issues, calling her careless.
She put our nation's security at extremely high risk with her careless use of a private email server.
Okay. Errol, let's set aside the irony of that statement for a moment and talk about whether or not you believe there is a national security risk that could have spanned at least those 3 weeks when Russia would have known that it had leverage over Michael Flynn.
Well, I mean, I think the definition of a risk is exactly that. When information goes missing, when clearly there's someone who could be compromised, when there's an obvious need to sort of close ranks and figure out what's going on and come clean with the public and within the administration, and none of those things seem to have happened. And again, the missing piece in all of this is why, when he's going to tweet about Nordstrom's or Hollywood stars or the media or anything else, how is it that this president has never managed to criticize Russia or its leader? It really makes the whole thing sort of very fraught, and you start to wonder what is going on here and who's driving the ship and in what direction and for what reason.
Quickly, last point, Jackie Kucinich. Remember, Michael Flynn was incredibly close to Donald Trump as a candidate, then president-elect and as president. It's hard to know where his foreign policy ends and President Trump's began. And when he was criticized, the president, for not taking the daily briefings during the transition, his excuse was that Michael Flynn is briefing me every day. So this is not someone there is much space, between these two men.
It's true, but loyalty only goes so far. And I do think the fact that he did lie to or misstate the facts at minimum to Vice President Mike Pence was his undoing. And Mike Pence went out and defended him. And Mike Pence was reportedly very upset about this. You can't undermine the vice president like that when you're someone who's so critical in general, but also when you're someone who's so critical to an administration.
Yeah. All right, Dana Bash, great reporting as always. Jackie Kucinich, Errol Lewis, David Rode, we appreciate it. Coming up for us, a ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Adam Schiff, not mincing words just moments ago on Twitter, tweeting, "Here's what's bothering me. Flynn's lie about Russia didn't bring him down. Exposure of lie did. The White House knew weeks ago and did nothing. Why?" We'll talk about that with the congressman next.